Today we'll be seeing the workflow of the plugin, that's the WooCommerce and point of sale loyalty management plugin. And basically this plugin helps the store owners to provide the loyalty or the reward points to their customers, and the customers can get the loyalty points when they shop from the WooCommerce website as well as from the PS stores. Apart from that, the customers can see their loyalty points under their own account, and the admin can set up the rules based on the cart total and the product categories for earning and redeeming the loyalty points in the WooCommerce store or the POS itself. Right now you can see that I'm at the WooCommerce storefront right now, and here I'm trying to make a checkout, and the cart total is more than 200. And here you can see that I have the option where I'll be getting 30 loyalty points after the completion of the current purchase. So after the order has been completed and has been shipped, these 30 points would be added to the customer's loyalty points. Apart from that, at the checkout, the customer can see the current balance of his loyalty points and the weightage for the same as well. And here the customer can make use of loyalty points to make the payment here as well. So the total is $365.20 there. So if I enter here my 60 points, I can tap here on the redeem now button. The loyalty points would be added to the cart. So here we can see that the loyalty points have been added. I can also remove the loyalty points by tapping here on the remove button, and now the total comes up to 245.20 pounds. And thereafter the customer can place the order as per his own requirement there. And after the order has been placed, the customer can check the order details as well, and the loyalty points would be visible, the amount of loyalty points that have been used for making the payment. Now one more thing is that it depends upon the redeemability of the points, whether the admin has set up as full or partial. In partial, as you can see that we just made only a partial use of the loyalty points. Otherwise, if the reward point usage is full time, then what happens is that for example, if a product is for 60 pounds and I'm using 60, what we say as it's full for the redemption, and I have, for example, 200 points and I have to only make the payment for 60 pounds, then while I'll applying the 60 loyalty points, the rest of the points will also expire there. Now after the login, the customers can also see the loyalty points under the loyalty points section, as you can see here. And here we have the complete transaction list, the balance of the loyalty points that are available. We just used 60 loyalty points a moment ago, so that's why we have only two. Here we have the details of the 60 loyalty points. We can also check the order by tapping here on the link for the order number, and we have the transaction details like the loyalty point used 60, the order ID for which it was used, action was debit, the type of the order debit, the customer name, the transaction on, and the transaction note as well. So that's how the customers can redeem their loyalty points for making the purchases as required, and can check their loyalty points now under the own account panel of the web browser. Now comes the thing, what if the customers are going to the point of sale system for your WooCommerce store? So the same appears there as well. Let's check that out now. So I'll just log out of my customer account now, and thereafter I'll just log into the POS panel for the web. So I've just logged out of the customer account. I'm on my POS window. Let's log into the same. So the point of sale agent can see the points for a customer, and while making a checkout for a customer also, at that time he can find if any of the loyalty points are available on that particular order or not. So let me go back and let's add a few products to the cart, and thereafter we'll be making a checkout. So I've just added a few products. Now let's tap here on the pay button. Now at the checkout, I'm here on the POS system. You can see the customer name is there, the available balance for the customer, but I just need to choose the customer. That's Peter Doe. Alright, and I'll just select the customer. The customer has been updated, so this is my cart. Now let's tap here on the pay. Now we have the customer as Peter, and the loyalty point balance is 2. If you remember time ago I show you the customer balance there. Now the POS agent can also make use of the customer's balance for redeeming them. So for example, if I choose it as 2, we can redeem that up, and the loyalty points are displayed here. 4 points have been removed. The rest of the payment can also be made depending upon whether you want to make a cash payment, or you can use other payment methods as well as for your requirement. And then you can tap here on the confirm button to place the order for the customer. So that's how the POS agent or the POS agent basically of your physical store can make use of the Webkul point of sale system to provide the loyalty points to the customers. And the order has been placed, and now if I go to my customers section, from here as well we can see the reward points of each of the customers. So here we have 30 points for Peter Doe, for Katie we have 58, for Mark we have 20 loyalty points. So that's how the customers can get the loyalty points on the point of sale systems for your WooCommerce itself. And now let's go to the admin backend panel and let's check the initial configurations and the rest of the options for this particular plugin. And one more thing, the agent can also print the invoice that is having the details for the same, or details of the loyalty points used. So let me save that right now. I don't have a printer attached to my POS system there, so it will just save. Let's open that file up. So here you can see the details of the loyalty point that have been made use up. That's £4 within that. Now let's log into the WooCommerce backend panel by entering our username password for backend panel. And after installation of the loyalty management plugin, you'll have this option. Under that you have users, transactions, rules, and the configuration. So let's go to the initial configuration first, and we'll go through the users, transaction, and rules. Now under the configuration you can enable this particular functionality of the loyalty management for your store and for your POS as well by checking this option. Then you can make this loyalty applicable for your WooCommerce store and your point of sale system, or only the point of sale or the WooCommerce store as per your requirement. Then you can set up the title and the redeem button text that is visible to the customers at the time of checkout when they're placing an order so they can redeem their points and can get a discount there. And lastly, just tap here on the save changes button to save this particular configuration. Now let's go to the users, then transactions, and lastly we'll go to the rules. So under the users, we have the complete list of users who have received the loyalty points. The admin can view their orders by tapping here on the view orders button on the actions column, and that brings up the details of their orders, and tapping here on any one brings up the complete list of the order itself along with the loyalty points that were used within that particular order. So now let's go back to the user section, and here the admin can also make a manual transaction to the users by selecting the user. For example, we'll send the credit or debit. We can make a credit or a debit action to any of the users. So I'll just select Peter Doe. We can have multiple ones as well. I can set 90 loyalty points. We can credit that. We can set the transaction note as test trans, and I can tap here on the submit button, and this loyalty point would be added to the Peter Doe user himself. So that's how we can make a loyalty point create to the selected users. Now let's go to the transactions. Now under transactions, all of the transactions that the admin has made to the loyalty point users that would be visible, and here you can see that we have the order credit. On placing the order, loyalty points were assigned to a customer on this particular date. Similarly, this was the order that we did now under the users when we added to 90 loyalty points to the customer, that's Peter Doe, and it was our manual credit. Rest of them are order debits. Alright, so that's how we can do it. Under the bulk actions, we can delete any of the transactions. We can also filter them out using the transaction type as credit or a debit one. And then let's do a debit one also for the Peter Doe. Let's go to the users, manual transactions, search user Peter Doe. Let's make a deduction of 80, credit debit, submit. Now let's go to the transaction section. It's okay to go. Transactions.
Here's a result from search.
and here you can see that the manual debit is also visible, the debit credit is visible now. And from here we can, with the transaction details, the complete details of it. Now let's go to the rules. Now here the rules can be created for redemption, you want to have it as a full redemption or a partial redemption. In partial redemption we can partially use the loyalty points to at the time of checkout to place the orders so as to get some discount. In full, if a product is of $60 and we have 200 points, 200 loyalty points, and the redemption type has been set full, then if we purchase a 60 pound uh, order, then all of the rest of the points in our loyalty would be discounted thereafter. Now to create a new one, just tap here on the create button at the top, and that brings up the section to add a new rule. Here you can enable or disable the rule. You can choose the start date, the end date of the rule. You can set up the minimum points to redeem. You can choose redemption as full or partial. You can set up the points calculation as based on uh, the cart total or the product categories. We saw it for the cart total. You can set it for product categories, then you can choose and add categories. For example, here you can set the loyalty point for each of the categories from where the products are purchased. You can add multiple categories. Otherwise you can choose the cart total. You can set up the minimum purchase that needs to be done, and the customer would be awarded this much, and for a purchase of every 100 rupees. We can also set up the redemption calculation. You can set up the rule name. You can enter the points from and up to points, the point weight, and their status as well. And lastly, just tap here on the save button to save the respective rule. Those rules would then be visible here. So here you can see that here we have two rules on cart, one on product category. One is of the redemption type as partial. It's based on the cart, and it's right now enabled for the users. So that was much about the WooCommerce and point of sale system, a loyalty management plugin, and I hope it helped you out in understanding the flow. Please do like this particular video if you find it helpful, and if you want to have to if you want to view more of our videos, then kindly tap the bell icon to receive the latest updates on the latest videos. You can also subscribe to our channel, and in case you have any questions, queries, suggestions or requirements, then kindly do get back to us at support@webkul.com, or you may raise a ticket at webkul.uedes.com. Thanks for watching this particular video, and have a great day ahead.